Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise tonight to follow up on my question from earlier this year about the Liberals' inability to follow through on Auditor General's reports and actually improve service delivery to Canadians. It was back in June when I'd asked a question about the F-35, where we found out that the original cost of the F-35 jets were estimated to cost $19 billion, but it was the Auditor General after their audit that found that the figure was based on outdated information, and by 2024 the estimated cost had increased to $28 billion, almost a 50% increase more, and also that didn't take into fact several other elements needed to achieve full operational capacity, such as essential infrastructure upgrades and advanced weapons that would cost another $5.5 billion. Past budget time frame, past budget costs, and we're still lingering months later with an inability to move forward on that file. But that's not the only report the Auditor General has that the Liberals keep messing up. I want to go back before I reference another recent Auditor General's report, and that was on the performance standards of the Canada Revenue Agency call centres. This was actually not, this most recent report wasn't the first one that was done. The Liberals had their hands slapped only back in 2017, a few years ago, about several aspects of their service delivery that were failing. The Auditor General came out with a scathing report at that time talking about service standards, accuracy in information in several ways, and recommendations of what the Liberals needed to do to get CRA better customer service. And it was back in 2017 that the then Minister of CRA put out a statement that said, quote, "Our clients have a right to receive information that is clear and precise when they need it. We have made strides to improve our service." And goes on to say, however, there remains work to be done, and the Auditor General's recommendations will help us make the necessary adjustments. They had a 3-point action plan, and they said beginning in 2018, our clients will see numerous improvements. Well, fast forward to today, the budget of CRA under the Liberals since their time in office has increased by 70%. And I wish I could come here tonight and instead congratulate the Liberals to say service got 70% better. Well, literally, when we look at it, service actually got about 70% worse, I would say, closer to the actual reality. The report, the second report under these Liberals on the CRA and the call centres and customer service to Canadian taxpayers got astronomically worse. The Liberals had learned nothing except how to make the problem worse. Only 18% of calls met CRA's own service standard. The average wait time doubled. There were invoices paid with little or no validation. We've heard that before in the Arrive scam investigation. And over 32 million calls were received, but only 10 million people reached an agent, meaning 22 million Canadians were redirected or hung up on. So, Mr. Speaker, my question through you to the Liberals is, how many more Auditor General reports is it going to take for them to get their, what I call they used to call deliverology, get it in shape, get CRA in shape, and take all these other Auditor General reports like the F-35 and get something done properly, on time, on budget, with good customer service. Canadians aren't expecting too much from this government, not the worst deliveries we've seen in recent years.
The Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Justice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank the honourable member for his question. Last spring, Canadians made it clear they wanted change. I can tell you that this new government is laser-focused on transforming the ways that we do business. But we will not lose sight of our commitment to deliver responsibly for Canadians. From making housing more affordable to bolstering our defence efforts, we are building Canada strong while remaining mindful of our role as stewards of public funds. Mr. Speaker, we know that the government spending must, at all times, meet the highest standards of accountability. To address the member opposite, as we have said before, the government has accepted all of the Auditor General's recommendations regarding procurements made in relation to the development of the Arrive Can app. Mr. Speaker, we share the demand for accountability expressed by the opposition. This new government will ensure rules are followed and procurement processes are properly applied and documented every time. The government has already implemented several measures to improve how we procure and manage professional services. This includes improving evaluation requirements, increasing transparency, improving documentation, ensuring work requirements are clear, and adding measures for more procurement oversight across the board. The goal, as always, is to make sure we are getting the best value for Canadians. And I want to be clear, when it comes to recovering funds where we can demonstrate fraud or overbilling, we will and are already pursuing GC strategies in court. At the same time, procuring goods and services, particularly those related to defense, needs to be more efficient. Mr. Speaker, regarding the member's concern around Canada's future fighters, a modern fighter jet fleet is essential for defending Canada and Canadian sovereignty, and we plan on delivering in a timely manner. In this rapidly changing and complex geopolitical environment, we must also take a hard look at our defense procurements to ensure they remain in the best interests of Canadians and our armed forces. That is why, Mr. Speaker, we have created the Defense Investment Agency to streamline processes, tailor oversight to project complexity, and embed a stronger sense of urgency and prioritization into how we deliver capabilities. That is what responsible governments do, Mr. Speaker. Canada's new government understands the importance of being fiscally responsible and maintaining high standards while conducting the business of the country. Canada's rightfully expect this, and that is why we are committed to transforming the way we do business as we build Canada strong. Mr. Speaker, with all federal procurements and projects, this new government will make sure that we are always getting the best value while upholding the highest standards.
The Honourable Member for Stormont, Dundas, Glengarry.
If the Liberals were truly intent on getting the best value for taxpayers' money, the recent CRA audit that came in would not have the headline that the value of telephony contract services has reached $190 million from its minimum work guarantee of $50 million. That's the headline because IBM was provided an original contract for a value of $50 million over 10 years, and now it is projected that the overall contract value will rise there to $214 million through 2027, a quadrupling of that as service standards are dropping. And actually, as a matter of fact, the Auditor General says that Shared Services Canada, when it comes to this contract, should strengthen its contract management and conduct a full review of that contract in its life cycle to identify lessons learned. Mr. Speaker, there's constantly lessons being learned by the Auditor General. It's the Liberals' inability to follow up and deliver that change. When are they actually not going to just talk a good game, but actually follow through?
The Parliamentary Secretary, Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, our new government is tackling some of the most pressing economic and security issues of our time as we build a strong, united Canada. We are taking bold action to transform government and build up our defense efforts. We are moving quickly, but we are doing it in a responsible and pragmatic way. As we manage some of the largest federal undertakings this country have ever seen, we will always act in the best interest of Canadians. We have a solid plan to build the economy of the future, and we are building up our military as quickly as possible to keep Canadian and Canada strong and free. And with respect to the well-documented issues around the GC strategies, I want to assure the honourable member that our government is focused on modernizing and fixing our procurement processes. Mr. Speaker, as stewards of public funds, we know that government spending must, at all times, meet the highest standards of accountability. We will ensure that that happens. Canadians deserve no less. Thank you.